Hey Trails Collective, Ian here for the results and voices episode for the weekly rundown of what's shaken in the regional trail world. Opening Trails Collective coverage areas from the Virginia's north and just doing what we can to plug really what's shaken out there. Always love to hear from you, and I try to do my best to follow up. If you know of any events that are upcoming that I'm just missing, let me know. Registrations that are opening, things that are about to close out, and maybe an event that you're putting on, club or group runs out there, trail work projects. I want to hear about all of that and do what I can to really bring that together into a good community view, I guess, of trail running in this region. So let me know. So this is for the weekly rundown ending for Christmas Day, December 25th. Thanks for tuning in. So from this past weekend, not a ton that was happening. One that was an event put on by the Batona Trail Race crew called Christmas in the Pines Trail 4-miler. They used a mild and well-marked course in Beachwood, New Jersey. They, I think, maybe had about 100 registrants. Looked like they had a nice day out there for it. The top male on the day was Tom Ferzettie from Ocean City in a time of 27:07. And the top female spot went to Emilie Keane of Haddonfield in 31:47. The youngest finisher on the day was a 10-year-old named Ava Barbalinardo. Sorry about that, Ava, from Pine Beach. And the oldest was Don Morrison of West Brandywine, PA. I think he was maybe 70 years old. So we plugged a couple clips here. Thanks for the Christmas in the Pines Trail Race crew for sending those in. Sunday, December 20th, the Mason-Dixon Shortest Day Challenge ran. And we got a good clip where I checked in with a couple people, Robert Bartholomew, as well as Eric Furry. Both sent in clips, so thanks for those. They both, I think, did a good job of digging into the event a little bit. So rather than double them up for some similar content, Robert deferred to Eric on this one. So Eric, take it away and cue us into what the Mason-Dixon Shortest Day Challenge was all about.
Hey guys, here to talk about race that went down this weekend, and talk on behalf of the winners of that race. Actually, my two pups, Linus and Lucy. Come here, Lucy. Come here. Come say hi. There's Lucy. There's Linus. As you can see, they've recovered quite a bit of their energy since then. 35 miles over about 7,000 feet of vert for the race. It took us just about 8 hours to do it. What I love about this event, hey, there's my wife too. Hi. What I love most about this event is its fat ass style. And it's unofficial, really. There's no markings on the course. You're just following the Mason-Dixon Trail. It's set as a 50K, but it's 35 miles. So that can be a bit of a challenge. And then, of course, this year we had snow, probably 6 to 8 inches worth of it, all along the course. Come on, guys. So, but these guys right here were champs. Of course, didn't bother them at all. We were a little worried about how the snow would react on them. So we did get some pawl wax the day before and tried it out a couple of times. I think that helped a lot, and so we reapplied it like 3 times throughout the day. And ended up having no problems with their paws through the snow. In training for them, probably like averaging 20 miles a week for the last few months going into it. They're so weather dependent, so that had a lot to do with what kind of mileage they get every week. And the conditions were good for them on Sunday. They, if it had been any warmer, they might not have been able to make the distance, but high of into 40s is like perfect for dogs. Really? So the non-event was not put on by the Trail Dogs out of Newark, Delaware. So I want to thank them for not putting it on, and for especially for all the hard work they did for the weeks leading up to the race. Working on the trail, there were a lot of volunteers that did a lot of trail clearing. I don't even know how many hours. Let me just say some of their names because they deserve extra credit. Pete and Robert and Eddie, Robert's wife Kathy, Gary, Stephen, Christina, Scott, Jake, Roxanne and Dave, and Mike Hall. Really it helped a lot, I think, getting us through. What else? There were about 17 of us that started the race this year. The challenge, which makes this race special, is you start at sunrise and finish at sunset is the goal, which you get 9 hours and 20 minutes for the shortest day for the winter solstice, which seems pretty generous for a 50K, but with the conditions you always get with all the vert and weather, it's an extra special hard challenge. Other finishers other than the dogs and myself were Clayton, Stephen Larrick, Robert Bartholomew, Caleb Roth, who, extra shout out to him, this was his first 50K he ever did. Gary Wentzel, David Long, and Ryan Vanderberg, which also special shout out to him. This is his 9th finish. He's run every single year. He was also able to make the challenge this year. We had other finishers that came in after the time: David Wood, Casey Fisher, and TJ Quinn deserve an extra shout out. And then a whole bunch of folks who ran portions of it. Is a certain amount of bravery on its own. Who do we have here? We had Julie Linus, Phil Cappuccio, Pete Fisher, Ryan Leppo, Luke Claussens, Neil Barnaba, Jeff Kearns, Zach Geipel, Bridget Sheehan, and Scott Newcomer ran it the day before. Ran most of it. Who were some other people I saw out there? Chad Brown was there cheering us on, and Katie O'Regan. She started with us and did a few miles. It was a great group for a non-event that didn't happen officially anyway. I want to thank all the people that came out that showed up for Trail Magic. Roxanne Strine, she hooked me up with some awesome peanut butter balls at some point, and I got some from Robert's wife. I got some homemade peanut butter cookies, which were amazing. There were other folks cheering us on, other wives and support crew that met us along the way, which was especially magical considering how hard it was to drive around. A lot of those back roads that we cross along the trail were not very easily accessible, with still a lot of snow still being on the roads and whatnot. So, in fact, my wife actually had to help a local fisherman who had slid off the road get back on with her truck. So that was pretty cool that she was able to do that. The views were absolutely amazing, especially early in the morning when it was perfectly quiet and there was still a lot of ice on the river. Some of the interesting sights that I saw along the way, I actually ran through some overnight hikers that had backpacked in at one portion of the section and spent the night before there. That was pretty cool seeing them. I was really surprised. They said they had a great night. I chatted with them for a couple minutes when I ran into them. And then one of the other random things that you're never really sure if it was real or not was ran into some other hikers. And one of them had a duck with them. So that's a first for me. I never saw somebody hiking with their duck. That was pretty sweet to see. Always seeing stuff like that. It's really cool. Just to summarize the race itself, it was such a fun, amazing day. It was definitely challenging with all the snow, and the dogs were amazing. They're definitely my heroes. I didn't know if they were going to make it going into it because this is definitely a PR for them. They've never run that far, but I knew with the conditions and knew all the training they had a chance. So if you get a chance, they have their own Strava account. You can follow them. They're Linus and Lucy. And I just want to say this. Thanks a lot to everybody involved again, and congratulations to everybody that came out, and it was a great day. So thanks for your time. Can we get one more throw here for the dogs? Oh, gosh.
All right, another one that ran that one of you out there, Patrick, gave me the heads up on, the Seashore Nature Trail 50K. Also ran on Saturday over the hard-packed dirt trails with the First Landing State Park in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It was put on by the Tidewater Striders Running Club. And thanks to Chris Bell of the Dairy Queen Track Club for sending this clip in of his day out there. So, Chris, take it.
Hey guys, wanted to give you a race recap of the Seashore Nature Trail 50K that was put on here in Virginia Beach, Virginia on December the 19th, 2020. This is Chris Bell with DQTC, running trail club up in Prince William Forest in Virginia. And this was the Seashore 50K was my first ultra marathon, and super thankful for the support I got from the DQTC Trail Club, and everything from knowledge to nutrition to tactics. So greatly appreciate that. And the Seashore 50K had amazing weather. It was approximately 35 degrees at the start of the race. The Tidewater Striders are the local running club that put this race on. They do an amazing job with this event. They've been running this specific race for about 12 years, I think since 2009. There in the state park. It's First Landing State Park in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Trails were in great shape, not too muddy. There's a short out and back on asphalt, about 1.5 miles at the start of the race. And then it's a looped course, about a 15-mile loop that's primarily on gravel and trails, a little bit of sand. And again, great volunteers out there on the course this year. And the Striders did a great job making sure that everybody was staying COVID compliant. They were sending the race out in waves of about 25 people spaced out 15 minutes apart to help with social distancing. Total of 151 people showed up on race day, and of those 151, 121 finished the race in the 8-hour cutoff. So pretty amazing. We had overall winners of the race were Steven Spears with a time of 3 hours and 53 minutes and 46 seconds. In second place was Mike Cap with a time of 4 hours and 34 seconds. And then Peter Palmerank with a time of 4 hours and 4 minutes and 9 seconds. And our those were the overall winners. And then our top females were Ekaterina Aaron with a time of 4 hours and 20 minutes and 55 seconds. Sarah Rodas with a time of 4 hours and 36 minutes and 15 seconds. And Amber Kuzak with a time of 4 hours and 51 minutes and 4 seconds. So kudos to you guys for putting on a show out there. And there were several other awards handed out for Masters divisions, male and female, age group winners, and so on and so forth. This was my first ultra marathon, and I'm just really appreciative of the ultra running community and the support out on the trail running. And everybody was in really good spirits. Volunteers were super supportive, and just all in all, a great event. If it's your first ultra marathon, or you know, you're just a seasoned ultra runner, I would highly recommend the Seashore 50K. And there's on my Strava, it's basically showing about 800 feet of elevation gain for this event, which is not very much when you're considering 31.1 mile distance. So relatively flat. So again, great event put on by the Tidewater Striders here in Hampton Roads, Virginia. You should definitely come and check this one out. Take care.
And then while it was at an event running outside of the region, a big congrats to Nick Arndt for running a really fast and hard effort at the Huff 50K. It was a stellar effort, and I'm going to let Nick's voice take us out for this week's episode of the Results and Voices. I hope you have a great Christmas. Stay tuned if I pull it off, if there's any that come in for Christmas FKT Friday, because the fat bearded fella in a sleigh shouldn't drown out some of your stellar trail FKTs out there. Again, stay tuned for the Christmas Eve episode. It'll go live. It should be a lot of fun. We got a long long list of great guests, from RDs to some of the fittest and fastest in our region. And we're just going to try to have fun with it. So tune in. That'll stream live on YouTube and Facebook channels from 7:30 to probably 10:30, give or take. Look forward to seeing you on there. Thanks for doing all you can to help us spread this word, for letting us know or cueing us into what's going on out there. And thanks for all the Patreon supporters. And yeah, I'm just grateful for this year so far. So I will check in with you maybe later in the week. And Nick, take us out.
Hey everybody, my name is Nick Arndt. I am a ultra trail runner, road marathoner, mountain runner from Keene Valley, New York, in the Adirondack Mountains, where I moved about 2 years ago from northern Indiana. I recently raced the Huff 50K trail run in northern Indiana, a race I've been wanting to do for a long time, however, just never got around to it because I've been injured and had other obligations. I had probably one of the most consistent build-ups to this race in my life. I'm 26 years old. I've been self-coached since I was about 20, I would say, and I've been writing my own training program since I was about 13 years old, 14 years old, something like that. So I've had a lot of trial and error over the years to try to really nail my training down and incorporate all aspects of track, trail, treadmill, road, mountain, cross training, and just blend it together to have the best training program that's sustainable and I can stay healthy and stay hungry. And I believe that's kind of what separates my training from my competitors, is the variety, creativity, and I really believe in it. So I was able to put in about 8 weeks of training after a full year of mountain running in my hometown of Keene Valley, my current hometown. So I was doing a lot more runnable training because the race is in Indiana. It's a little bit flatter, typical Midwest trails, rolly hills, but a lot of flat sections, and it's a runner's race. So I put in about 8 weeks of training. Typically average between 70 and 85 miles, I'd say. Really specific long runs, really good cross training, good tempo runs, and I felt probably as fit as I ever have in my life going into a competition. So I was really looking forward to putting down a good time at the Huff. However, some years the Huff has plenty of snow this time of year, so it was kind of hit or miss with snow. I was crossing my fingers for no snow. There was 2 inches of snow, so things could have been much worse, but I had good shoes, good footing, and I felt like I could still run to my potential on that course. The course record previously was held by former North American Ultra Runner of the Year, Mark Godale. In 1999, he ran 3 hours, 26 minutes. So it stood about 21 years, and a number of fast Midwest marathoners and ultra runners have run this course and not run under 3:26 on this course. But that was my goal. My goal was to win and break the course record. I got out with another fast runner from Fort Wayne, Jeff Zenger, who is one of the best trail runners in Indiana. He led till about mile 14, mile 13, right around there. I took the lead. I was feeling really solid, really under control. I took the lead, surged past him on a hill, and I never looked back. I kept the hammer down from mile 15 to about mile 25. I was still rolling in the 6:20, 6:30 pace range, 6:40. So I knew I was going to do something epic if I held together and didn't blow up. The last 4 miles of the race have the most hills, so it's like up, down. They just like crush your momentum, and my hamstrings were wanting to cramp, and I was thinking to myself, man, if my hamstrings cramp and I lose this race because my hamstrings cramped in the last couple miles, I didn't want it to end that way. So I made sure I didn't, I took the fluids down, made sure I didn't overextend my stride, and they didn't cramp, and I was able to muscle in a 3:24:21 time to beat the course record by about 2 minutes, which I'm proud of, and especially in those conditions. I think if it was dry, no snow, I think I could have run 3:19 maybe. So I'm in really good shape right now, and I'm looking forward to building upon that result, and doing some more FKTs in the mountains where I'm from right now in Keene Valley, and then hopefully building toward the Chicago Marathon next fall, and hopefully running in the low 220s. Yeah, so that's it. I'm really proud of my performance. I think it was maybe the fastest 50K trail run in America this year. I could be wrong, but it's right up there, I think. So I'm really proud of that, and all the hard hours I put into running, and all the just like the mental energy and scheming and dreaming and trial and error, failing, trying again, failing, trying again, failing, and then finally succeeding at something it's worth every bit of stress, sweat that goes into it. So thank you for letting me have this platform, Ian, and everyone out there. Have a great winter of training, and push forward toward your goals in 2021. Thank you.